Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat. I have a much quicker video today. I have not gone completely insane and tried to create 6 million cards and put millions of layers on, etc. So today my challenge is a sketch. So this was me drawing my sketch. I had already decided I wanted to use the Waffle flower poinsettia layering stamps that are quite old stamps. They come with coordinating dies. I'd already decided I wanted to use those, so it was just about thinking about how I wanted the florals. And I decided I wanted to do a DL card. So that's what I've ended up making. So this was me using my Sketch Mayhem book. I think you can still get some of these on Amazon. Maybe. I'll see if I can find a link for it. But yeah, Martin Mayhem has designed the book and you can put your sketches into the book. I bought a new one a little while ago, so this is the first sketch I'd done in this book. And yeah, it just gives you an idea of where you're going. So I thought that I wanted a poinsettia sprig going up to the top and another one going down to the bottom. Now these layering stamp sets are quite tricky to use because they're quite flexible. So I find with this particular set you absolutely need to die cut it first, then layer your stamp on top of the die cut so you know it's going to stamp in the right sort of place. Even so, I still get the stamping off just slightly, but it's not noticeable and it's absolutely fine for what I was using it with. But I do think it's a really cute set. So I used real red for the darker red, and I did stamp it a couple of times to make sure it was a nice stamping consistency. The ink had gone across the whole stamp. Then I used sweet sorbet for the second layer. And then I used, I think it was Mossy Meadow. Yeah, Mossy Meadow for the leaves. I think that that's a really nice combination. It's a fairly traditional green and red colour. And then I brought in early espresso for the detail and the stem. I think I could have done it with a lighter colour green on the leaf and then maybe use Mossy Meadow for the stem and the detail. But yeah, it works well with the early espresso. And it's quite quick to do it if you have die cut the elements first and then you just stamp all of the colours, keep switching the die cuts in and out. It's quite a quick and easy way to do it, but it is a little bit finicky, I will admit, using these stamps because they don't want to necessarily lie in the way that exactly it was designed to be. So now I have cut a piece of A4 cardstock in real red colour, and I have cut it so it's DL. So what I do to do that is I just could turn it on its side so it's sort of like landscape, and then I score at 10.5 centimetres. I burnish that fold and then I'll cut it off, and that's how I do my DLs. And then that leaves you another panel that's wide enough, that's long enough so it'll fit as a panel going all the way down, but it is narrower than the card blank, so it works really well for doing that extra layer. And that's how I like to do my DL cards. I usually just use one piece of A4 and do it that way. Okay, so on my sketch I'd kind of got this sort of like sketchy type thing going on behind the flowers, and I decided I was going to glimmer. So I've chosen this Dina Wakley. It's not a Christmas theme specifically, and I am just literally cutting a little piece of foil to go just over a little part of it, and you can see there I did that twice. Did it all off camera because it takes ages for it to warm up, plus I ended up on a call with my mum for quite some time. So fast forward, I'm choosing a sentiment and I've decided to make my life a little bit easier and go and grab a pouch of ready done sentiments, and I chose this Christmas that's a Colorado Crafts sentiment. I've stamped it, I've die cut it a couple of times and stacked it up, so it's already done and dusted for me. I choose that I'm going to do a panel underneath it to try and replicate that kind of diagonal bit that I've got going across. So I just choose this die cut shape. I think it's from Christmas Season or Christmas to Remember or something like that, old Stampin' Up one, and I think that's perfect. Hindsight, I wish I'd have inked up that green. It's just a little bit brighter and doesn't quite work with the green that is the leaves. Plus, again, hindsight's a wonderful thing, and part of it is the issue that I had had that call with my mum, so I was distracted when I came back to crafting, is that I should have inked the edges of my red panel and I forgot, and so I end up pulling that sentiment back off, which is fine because it was still wet, because I wanted to pop a really thin matte layer, well, the layer, but a very thin edge of that dark green cardstock. And then because I'd added in that very dark green, it didn't really matter that I've got 3 different colours of green going on. It didn't matter that they didn't match. So I then chose some sorry, apologies, I glued it back in place, obviously. I then chose to finish off the card just with a quick embellishment of 3 of the glittery gems. Now these came from I think from Hey Little Magpie. Yes, I'm fairly confident. Hey Little Magpie, and as you can see, I've not got very many left. I've got some silver and then a few gold, and that just helped to finish it off. That little bit of sparkle, a little bit of an edge. So I love this card. I think it's really bright and cheerful. Some of it's easy to replicate, but those fiddly stamps, I must admit, does take a bit of a time to do that, as does using the glimmer. But then I do love the glimmer. So here's the sketch. Please feel free to screenshot it. I'd love to know if you've used it, so please do drop a comment below. Please don't forget to like this video, it really helps me, and also subscribe to see more. Plenty more Christmas in July coming up. But until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.